Hello, and welcome to the FM podcast. I'm Jen Fritz, and I run Fritz Media, a music publicity and digital marketing firm located in Vancouver, Canada. And this is episode number 58 of the podcast. So the topic of this week's show is choosing a creative life. And joining me on the show is Vancouver musician Etienne Siew. Now, Etienne and I had a great conversation about how he made the decision to actually quit his 9-to-5 job to become a full-time musician. And we discuss what it actually means to live a creative life. We had a really great chat, and I hope you enjoy it. Here's my conversation with Etienne Siew. Well, hello, Etienne. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm great. You know, it's we're recording this on a Friday, so I feel really good because it's Friday.
Yeah, right before the weekend, get to kick back and relax a bit.
Sun is shining,
Yeah.
Anything's possible, man. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Well, it's so good to see you. I have only ever seen you in this way. Like we've talked on Zoom before, but never really met in person.
In the flesh.
No,
Yeah.
It happens a lot more and more. And full disclosure for the listeners, you are a Fritz Media client, and we are currently working on a project together. But, more and more it happens that I don't actually meet my clients in person. But
okay.
we will probably possibly meet because we actually live in the same areas. So
Sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah. So to get things started here, I'm going to begin with a question that I like to ask all of my guests. I mean, that is quite simply just how did you get your start in music?
Well, the guitar playing and all that, I was playing guitar since I was a little kid in elementary school, but I didn't really start to take it seriously until I started doing open mics. And that was kind of in my early 20s, I would say.
Okay.
I'm 34 now, so yeah, it's been a little while. And I still remember it took me like 6 months of just sitting down at open mics because I was just terrified to go up and just watching other people perform. And then just those communities are so great to foster your self-confidence and to support you and everything. So yeah, I started doing that. And then when I was in university doing my degree, I was volunteering for sort of a volunteer group that raised money for cancer research on campus. And I was pretty outgoing and everything. And so they were like, can you be the MC and perform for some of our fundraising events? And so that's just kind of how I started getting into things.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it sounds like, how most people get into it. They, started playing music at an early age and then they're like, oh, maybe I want to do this. Maybe this is something I like doing. And yeah, community is really such a big part of it.
Oh, huge.
That's for sure. So the topic for this week's show is choosing a creative life. And I really wanted to talk to you about this because you're someone who actually made the decision, to live a creative life, to actually quit your 9-to-5 and try to be an independent musician full time. So let's kind of get into that a little bit. What exactly was it that led to that decision for you?
Wow. a lot of I'd say a lot of decisions and conversations I've had. In fact, when I was, so I have a degree in kinesiology. I thought I would go the route of being a physio and all that sort of stuff. And I still remember going to my academic advisor and speaking. Actually, it was more of a career advisor. And I was like, hey, look, I'm about to finish my degree here, get into the workforce a bit more. I was already kind of in doing things. And she was like, okay, tell me about yourself. And I started telling her about my music career that I was also fostering as I was doing this. And she was like, honestly, I don't think you should even finish your degree. You're meant to be a musician and this is what you should go after. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to throw away the years of school that I did, but
oh my God, that's so surprising. That story took the opposite turn that I thought it would. I thought they were going to say, you're insane.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping that they would say, to be honest with you. And then I was like, oh man, okay. And so I was working in the field, and I was like playing some weddings and doing some other shows and stuff like that. And then a big turning point, I would say, I entered this like SFU launch sort of like program that fosters musicians, and it helps them. It provides some mentorship to them. I went to this seminar, and I entered with a song that I wrote about a good friend of mine, just like in my room. And there were so many people around me that had like, a master's in like composition and like all this sort of stuff. And I was like, whoa, like I can't believe I'm sitting here with these people. And the person that they brought over, I think from England or something, to speak with us, he was like, my only criticism for you is that like you don't believe in yourself enough, and you don't believe in what you're doing. I wonder what would happen if you actually treated your music career like you are, have treated kinesiology or the other different paths and stuff that you've taken. And I remember sitting down at a cafe, and I was journaling and stuff, and I called my boss. I was landscaping at the time to pay the bills and everything. And I was like, hey, look, man, like I'm quitting my job. And at that point in time, I had been booking my first tour like along the Sunshine Coast, and like all those gigs ended up lining up for me as well. So I was like, okay, here we go. I've got, a string.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it. I'm gonna have to jump in and do this. So yeah, that was kind of like the start of it for me.
Yeah, that's really good advice though, because you do have to believe in yourself so much, right? Like,
holy, yeah.
Because if you don't, then what's the point?
Absolutely. And like, if that's the thing, that you're something that I think all musicians are going to find if they decide to take that step too. It's like, if you don't believe in yourself the most, like other people are going to see that too. And you're constantly having to advocate for yourself, whether it's, pitching yourself for festivals or whatever it is that you're doing.
No, yeah, you have to you're the one that's selling, right? So
yeah, you're the product, right?
Exactly. I think that many people decide against fully embracing a creative life because of the financial stability. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that was probably something that you wrestled with when making your decision. How did you weigh the pros and cons when it came to that?
Well, I was just like, okay, I need to prepare myself for what's going to happen. I know, just from reading up on entrepreneurship and what have you, it's like, okay, well, you're probably going to lose a lot of money initially, and when you take a jump with stuff. So
yeah, it's a risk. Yeah, it is a risk.
I made sure that once I quit my job, right before, I paid off all my debt, all my student debt, everything that I had, just so that I could,
you're starting at ground zero, kind of?
Yeah, pretty much. And so, yeah, that was kind of it. And I've since then, I've definitely reevaluated how I'm doing things, because I found that when I was just gigging 5 days a week, that also can suck the joy of what you're doing out of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think it's just been it's kind of like this pendulum where I've swung so far to the right and then come back. And now I think it is, I do think it's good to have a balance of, your music business and everything like that, and some other diversified streams of income as well. Because if you get injured, something that's huge is you can't play guitar if you injure your hand, and that's your money maker, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of different things to consider.
No, there is. And I mean, it's good to have a lot of different income streams as well. It's really hard to live off just one income stream, as anyone these days, right? But especially as an entrepreneur, I can definitely attest to that one. That's for sure. So, living a creative life, it's something that's kind of hard to define. What exactly does it mean to live a creative life? It's kind of a hard question to answer because it can be, quite personal to you. But, if you think about it for you personally, what does it mean to try to live a creative life?
I think for me, it's putting myself in environments that are going to foster that creativity. Place, like, just try, for me, like, nature is a really huge part of that. And so I think, doing the things that light you up inside, that kind of get those creative juices flowing and allow you the space for introspection and reflection to write music, so to speak. I also think it's kind of funny. It's just like, in this pursuit of being a musician and an artist and songwriter and stuff, I feel like I've gotten a lot more in touch with myself, emotions, a lot of that, because you do sit and you do end up thinking a lot of the time, especially when you're writing music. Yeah. So I think, like, putting yourself in novel scenarios to inspire you and finding environments that, like, help you to be creative, whatever they might be.
Perhaps, so you can observe even those sorts of things.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard question to answer. I was thinking about it as I was, like, kind of preparing for this interview. And, the one thing that you said is something that I actually wrote down too. And that is, like, doing what lights you up. I think that that's something to actually, try to think about in your life, because, life passes by quickly, time passes by quickly. So to try and have as much joy as you can is really important. A few things that I came up with, I'll just share with you. And maybe if you have any, any other ones that you want to add to it, feel free.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
To me, as I said, it's about doing what lights you up. It's about the importance of qualities, such as autonomy. Curiosity, I think, is a really big one to live a creative life. I think that might be one of the most important one, as well as exploration and growth, which you touched on. I mean, you have to have a good sense of self, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that maybe you can think of?
That covers a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a hard question. I mean, anyone that you talk to and you bring it up, like, I want to live a creative life, I think anyone that you asked would give you a totally different answer.
Yeah.
And there's 1,000 books out there if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
I'm sure anyone listening to this episode has probably read The Artist's Way or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. The morning pages and what have you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's tons of them out there, if you want to do it. Something actually, that I do want to point out is that you don't necessarily have to be an artist to live a creative life.
Sure.
I think that if you're curious and, living your life in an open-hearted way, you can also benefit from creative living. Myself, I'm not really an artist, but I do try to live, creatively. Really, it's just your daily choices and actions that are going to, pretty much shape your life. You've shared a bit with us, but do you have any other tips to pass along, maybe to people that aren't necessarily artists, but just want to add a little creativity to their life? Like, I think nature is a good one, like just getting out into nature. We live in British Columbia.
It's a gorgeous space to live in. We're very blessed to have this around us.
Yeah.
I think a huge thing as well is community, or finding other creatives. And, like, for instance, I always hear this, like, at shows or like open mic or whatever, and there's plenty of people that come just to sit and be around people that are songwriters, or listen to them, and in conversations, people like, I can't do that. I'm not a singer, I'm not a musician. But also, I'm just like, it's a lot of it is just about being around this energy and being around the music and the community. And you don't have to be somebody who plays music to enjoy it. Yeah. So I think, like, finding places where other people are curious, and I don't know, doing something productive. That could be like a hiking group, or like, I think we all need novel stimulation to grow as people.
Yeah.
And so,
I know,
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
totally agree with that. And I think community is a really big part of that, and something, that we're lacking as a society in general right now. I think there's
Hmm.
too much isolation,
Yeah.
and it can be hard sometimes to find your people, although at least we have the internet, a little
Hmm.
bit easier for that.
Yeah.
Now that you made the choice to live a creative life, you said that, there's other things that you're doing. Have you gone back to kinesiology? Did you give it a go as a physio? Like what are some other things that you're doing along with your music?
I was working in that field for a while, but I've tried like a lot of different other professions, and so I've done stuff like kind of contract work. I was working as like a canoe guide for
Ooh,
a while
that
as
sounds
well.
fun.
Yeah, because that was great, and uh, that was like active and kind of keeping my body moving and everything. And now I just do like a bit of like warehouse work in between to bring in some other income
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I've done a lot of different things. For a while, I was also working as sort of like a care aide in homes for adults with support needs, like children and adults with support needs. And
Mm.
so that schedule was very flexible. It was a challenging job for many reasons. Yeah, so sort of like picking up different jobs that will allow you the flexibility if you line up a handful of gigs and you need to take off and
Hmm.
and do that. So that's kind of where I'm at with
I
things.
think that, that's not a thing that's unique to you as an artist. I think,
Hmm.
most musicians in this country have to have other jobs to help pay the bills. That's just, I mean, the way the music industry is right now. There's just not a lot of money to be had, unfortunately, to just live, specifically
Hmm.
off your
Hmm.
music. Just like I work with artists every day. And something that I hear a lot is, just if they're waiting tables as well as being an artist, they feel there's something that makes them feel bad about that. Like, maybe that
Hmm.
their life doesn't have value in some way. Or if they're
Mm.
like, someone's like, so what do you do? And they're like, well, I'm a waitress, also,
Mm.
a musician. How do you feel about that? And how do you tackle those sorts of things?
You definitely have to start developing a bit of a thicker skin when you do take on being an artist and being a performer and what have you. There's been plenty of times too. It's just like there's an immense amount of work that goes into booking shows and practicing and everything like that. And like I've lost count of the times people have told me that like being a musician isn't a real career and it isn't a real job. And I was like, man, if you even saw what I have to do, your head would explode.
Oh, for sure.
you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny. And I don't know. I don't think people should feel guilt either, like doing other sort of income in order to make what you want to do happen. I think it's like, yeah, if you're waiting tables and you're getting tips and that sort of thing, it's like, hey, this is just a means to do what I want to do,
Hmm.
and that gives me purpose as well. And I don't think there's any shame in that at all.
No, definitely not. No.
I think that's a smart way of doing things, to be honest, so that you're not constantly like, where's my next gig coming from? Or you're like getting burnt out from performing, 3 or 4 hours a night or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be tough. I mean, you touched on a little bit like the amount of work that you have to do. uh,
Mm.
was that like when you first started music, or when you like dedicated yourself to, I'm going to do this? Was that surprising to you? Like the amount of things you had to do?
It sort of was. I feel very fortunate that I like went to university and I studied, and like just having that ability to sit down and study and and dedicate yourself to something. I knew that, okay,
Structure. It's just structure, right? Yeah.
yeah, the structure and just, yeah, it's like, okay, I need to get this thing done, and like it's going to be tough, but this is going to allow me to do this next step, so I just got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was kind of funny. Like when I quit everything and I was being a musician, I was surprised at the amount of time that I was just like spending in front of a desk, emailing or like doing that sort of stuff. I was like, whoa, I did not expect this to be the case. I thought, it's all just going to be like performing
Yeah.
or what have you. But Yeah, unless you can like outsource that or delegate it or have the means to do it, yeah, it's going to be on you
And that's a lot. It
to
can
get
be a
it.
lot too. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
most artists don't have the additional income to, to
Yeah.
outsource. Thankfully, we have a grant system for
Yeah.
that. So that's good. That definitely helps my business, which I appreciate.
Yeah. It helps everybody. Yeah.
It really does. How about like the education side of things? Like, what did
Hmm.
you, if there was something you didn't know, what did you talk to other musicians? Did you look on the internet? What were your resources?
Yeah, huge. Yeah, like both of those things. There was another fellow that wrote a book, Ari's Take, and
Oh, he has a podcast also.
yeah, I've listened to his podcast a little bit, but I remember I bought his book and reading through it, and it was great to get like a general idea of like how to do things, and then yeah, definitely talking to other artists that had been professional musicians before me. I messaged them, I was like, hey, I'm taking the leap, like, and they're like, okay, first of all, like take a breath because you're always gonna feel like you're never doing enough,
Mm,
and but you've just got to like settle with the fact that it's gonna feel like that, and to just like take care of things as best as you can in front of you,
yeah.
and move forward. So yeah, I would say, yeah, just educating yourself as best as you can and speaking to other people and finding your tribe as well
Mm,
of other people that are kind of doing that, and people that are working really hard at it, and you can see that it's like, okay, yeah, I want to work with this person too. They're taking
mm.
what they're doing seriously, and I am too, and yeah, you can both help one another in that sense.
Yeah, networking, collabing. That's something that's
Yeah,
really important, especially these days. You
hugely.
can boost each other's careers too just by, collabing on something. But, all right. So just kind of wrapping things up just a little bit here.
Hmm.
Let's talk about your new music, which is so exciting. You
All
just
right.
released a new single, Chasing Dreams, on April 26th. And then you have a full length album also called Chasing Dreams, which is coming out on June 20th.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to finally release this music to the world?
Oh, it's yeah, it's an incredible feeling. The whole process of when I was writing the majority of these songs, it was like during the pandemic, I couldn't perform, so I would just drive out some of my favorite spots like near rivers with my notepad, and I would write music. To see them go from just that really stripped down acoustic form to getting into the studio, and from all the demos I came up with, and working with producer David at Echo Plant there, and just seeing all the layers come together, it's just been phenomenal. It's really like pulling something out of your dreams and like and making it come true. Yeah, it's really cool to put on Spotify now and listen to that, or just get all the different feedback from people and how much they're loving the song. And I'm like, man, you just wait for the other ones that are coming. There's going to be some really great stuff, I think.
Yeah, as I was saying before we jumped on this interview, that we're getting good feedback for the song too. People are really liking it, and the full album is so good. So you must be so proud
Yeah.
to be able to finally release it.
Yeah.
It's just so exciting. It's a good feeling, and then once it's out, you're like, oh, now what?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to be as like present as I can in this whole process, because I know like after I released my first EP, Better Man, I knew that that feeling that would come afterwards, and that, okay, what do I do now, sort of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just like really just trying to enjoy this and soak it up as it comes right now.
Yeah, something that I find happens with a lot of artists I work with is by the time they release the album and we're working on an album together, they're already working on the next album. So they really aren't really,
Yeah.
they're not really present with this album because they're like two steps ahead. Do you find yourself already maybe writing your new album? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm already writing more songs, and it's just cool because like I know people haven't heard a lot of the songs that I'm going to release, or they may have heard like stripped down versions of them at shows and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited because there's still like some novelty to this, but yeah, when you're the one, like, kind of like the wizard behind the curtain, like, you know, and Wizard of Oz, like, coming up with everything.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, cool. Like, it's really funny because, like, I've showed, like, you know, my significant other and, like, really close friends before something came out, like, hey, look, these are the tracks. And, like, whoa, like, this is amazing. Meanwhile, I've heard this, like, 100 times or more.
Yeah. It's old hat to you now. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a bit of a mix of both, I guess.
Yeah. No, I get that. You're like, oh God, this song again. And people are hearing it for the first time.
Yeah. And they're like, man, I've listened to it a million times. It's like, me too.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, now is probably a good time to head on over to our fresh content segment. Every week on the show, we discuss our favorite piece of music content for the week. And we always like to start with the guest. Mm-hmm. So, Etienne, what have you got for us?
I would say my favorite song at the moment is a Chris Stapleton tune. Devil Always Makes Me Think Twice.
Yes.
Yeah, you know that? You like that?
I love that
Oh man,
song.
it's so good. And I recently bought an electric guitar. I usually play acoustic mostly, but in my sort of my journey in the studio and like playing lead stuff with electric guitar, I'm like, okay, you know what? I think it's time to get an electric. And just hearing that song, it just makes me want to play electric guitar. So I've been learning that.
I could see that.
Learning that tune because it's quite challenging to sing and play at the same time. And I like that. That stuff keeps me excited about music, is learning stuff that challenges me. And he's got such a great voice. He's a great songwriter. So
incredible performer too. Yeah. If you get the chance to see him live, you should.
I did. It was like one of the best concerts I've been to.
Yeah. No, I love Chris Stapleton. He's I grew up in Alberta, so I still like country, but I like that kind of, like, you know,
Southern rock kind of.
Yeah, like that guard that's doing that kind of country I'm into.
For sure.
Yeah, not necessarily the country pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Oh, man. All right. So my fresh content for the week is the new Bon Jovi documentary. Cool. It's called Thank You, Goodnight.
All right.
It's a 4-part documentary that was just released on Hulu in the US, and it's on Disney Plus here in Canada and probably other places as well. I love music documentaries, which has been well documented on this podcast. Everybody knows it. I will watch a music documentary about anybody, basically. Yeah. I just love it because you get like a glimpse into the music industry. And, you know, we all are in this industry because we love music. Yeah. So obviously, why wouldn't I want to watch something about that? But, you know, that being said, they're not all good, right? Like there are bad documentaries and there are good documentaries. But this one is extremely watchable for a 4-part series. And after I watched the first episode, I found myself going, oh my God, I kind of want to watch the other one. And I can't stop watching it. I highly recommend it, even if you're like, Bon Jovi who? I don't know who that is. It's good. I mean, I grew up in the 80s. So for me, it was, and I forgot like a lot of things. I forgot about how they were huge. So,
oh, wow. Yeah.
And just seeing like that level of like arena rock back when you could make money in the music industry is kind of crazy. But yeah, that's I highly recommend it. So I will link to that as well as Etienne's pick in the show notes. And
cool.
That's it for us, man.
That wraps it up.
We did it
with a bow.
Really good. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. If someone wants to find out more about you, where could they go to do that?
They can check out my website, etiennesiew.com, or my Facebook or Instagram. It's just my first and last name. Mm-hmm. You'll definitely Spotify for all the upcoming music that's coming out. Yeah, everything related to that. So yeah, just my first and last name, and a Google search even would just take you to those various sources.
Yeah, and check out his new single, Chasing Dreams. It's very good.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
I'm going to play it as a song of the week, too, at the end. So stick around, guys, because it's coming.
All right. Perfect.
Well, have a good rest of your day. And thanks again.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for having me. See you later.
Oh, that was a great conversation. I really hope you liked it. And thanks again to Etienne for coming on the show. Thanks so much for listening to the FM podcast. If you like the show, please tell your friends and give us a 5-star rating and review in Apple Podcasts. And you can always help us out by also telling a friend about the podcast or posting about it on your social media. Anything you can do, we'd really appreciate it. The FM podcast is produced by me, Jen Fritz, for Fritz Media, with production assistance from Carla J. If you want to learn more about Fritz Media, check out our website at fritzmedia.ca. And if you want to learn more about the podcast, just go to the fmpodcast.com. A big thank you to Said the Whale for providing the theme music for the show, and you can find out more about them at saidthewhale.com. Okay, so we're going to go out with our song of the week this week, which is Etienne's brand new single. This is Chasing Dreams.
Waking up at the crack of dawn, overworked and underpaid. Lord, bring me from these endless days, yeah, I could use some grace. Burning rubber down the number 1, black coffee blazing on my tongue. Sun sleeps beneath the mountaintops, wheels are rolling west, but I wanna stop, yeah. Steam, 'cause life ain't living unless you're bleeding for your dreams. Exhaustion hits like a ton of bricks, beaten by the grind. What kind of life is this? Yeah, days just been dragging on, counting every second till I'm gone, gone, long gone. Steam, 'cause life ain't living unless you're bleeding for your dreams. Snatch the horns of life and pull them where you need to be. Can nobody drive this train right except for me? Tick tock, punch a clock, grind away and never stop. Pull your eyes out of the sand to see the path to better land, yeah. Oh, you better hustle, break and burn your steam, 'cause life ain't living unless you're bleeding for your dreams.
Bye. I'll see you next Tuesday.